Fans of Naruto are surely familiar with one of the Uchiha clan's special eye abilities. The power of the eye that is reached when a person feels absolutely crushed after the death of a close friend or family member. In fact, Tobirama Senju, the second Hokage, claimed in Naruto Shippuden episode 366 that when Uchiha discovers love, his feelings will be buried and kept in the form of an energy that will explode when the love is forced to break. The more love a member of the Uchiha clan feels, the more suffering they will feel when faced with the bitter truth of their broken love, which later gave rise to stronger eye power. The ability to use one's emotions as strength will enable a person to have a better life in the future, which makes sense while a person is going through extreme suffering. However, the undeniable power of love itself propels people beyond their comfort zones, but we try not to focus on it or the negative sides of love. We shall go into more detail on the Izanagi and Izanami powers, and what is the life lesson there afterward. This is old sensei. You're a sensei for your life. The Sharingan is the Jutsu kekkei genkai of the Uchiha clan that appears selectively among its members. It is regarded as one of the three great jutsu, the others being the Byakugan and the Rinnegan. While its powers originated from Kaguya Tsutsuki's Rinne Sharingan, its independent form was first manifested by Indra Ōtsutsuki. When a wielder of this kekkei genkai experiences a powerful emotional condition with regards to a person precious to them, their brain releases a special form of chakra that affects the optic nerves, transforming the eyes into Sharingan. For that reason, the Sharingan is described as an eye that reflects the heart, often, as per the Uchiha's so-called curse of hatred. This emotion is a negative one, brought on by stress or loss. The emotion can also be positive, driven by a desire to protect or reunite with a loved one. The Uchiha clan is one of the four noble clans of Konohagakure, reputed to be the village's strongest because of their Sharingan and natural battle prowess. After helping found Konoha decades ago, the Uchiha grew increasingly isolated from the village's affairs, culminating in most of their deaths during the Uchiha clan downfall. Few Uchiha now survive into the present day. They unified with Senju and made a pact with the Land of Fire to create a hidden village within its borders, what would become Konohagakure. Other clans settled in Konoha to share their peace, and Konoha's model was adopted across the shinobi world, ending the turmoil of the era. When it came time to select Konoha's first Hokage, Konoha's leader, the villagers selected Hashirama. Madara interpreted this as the first step in the Senju's supremacy over the Uchiha and tried to rally his clan to take control of the village. Weary of the fighting, the Uchiha ignored him, prompting him to leave the village. He later returned, challenging Hashirama, what would become the Valley of the End, and dying in battle. Despite Madara's actions, Hashirama did not hold anything against the Uchiha, and in fact urged his successor as Hokage, Tobirama, to be careful not to offend them. Tobarama created the Konoha military police force for the Uchiha to lead, believing it would be both the best use of their skills and the best way to focus the clan's energies towards serving Konoha. But the military police force was headquartered in a remote part of the village, and by its nature prevented Uchiha from holding any position of real influence within Konoha's government. As such, some Uchiha came to feel as though they were being deliberately isolated from Konoha, a sentiment that spread amongst the clan over the following decades. Under the leadership of Fugaku Uchiha, the Uchiha began plotting a coup d'état to overthrow the third Hokage and his administration. They strategically placed some of their members within the Anbu in order to spy on Konoha, but some of these very spies disagreed with the Uchiha's plans, believing an Uchiha coup would only begin a world war. Shisui Uchiha tried to use his Koto Amatsukami to force the Uchiha to stop their plans, but he was prevented from doing so by Dan Shimura. Dan's after that approached Itachi Uchiha, a long-time double agent for Konoha, and gave him an ultimatum: allow the Uchiha to carry out their coup, inevitably ending with the eradication of all Uchiha, or Itachi could wipe out the Uchiha before they had the chance, and in exchange he could spare his younger brother Sasuke. Itachi chose the latter. In Japanese mythology, Izanagi is Izanami's brother, who is also the creator god of the world and a member of the 6 creator gods in Japanese mythology. However, in contrast to Japanese mythology itself, Masashi Kishimoto, the creator of Naruto, prefers to describe Izanagi and Izanami as 2 things that have different meanings. In Naruto Shippuden, Izanagi is described as having the power to change one's own destiny. For example, like death, by sacrificing the most precious thing in his life. In the anime Naruto, he is depicted by the loss of one of the eyes of the Uchiha's Sharingan, which we all know is a big thing for the Uchiha. Regardless of other possessions, such as Danzo, Sharingan, or Kakashi, Izanami is depicted as the opponent, or rather the counterweight, to Izanagi. Izanami has the ability to persuade people to accept their true destiny rather than try harder through sacrifice. We see many people, including ourselves, who are blinded by lust in our daily lives. We are driven to change the reality that we call destiny in the end, while our knowledge of destiny itself is very shallow. Izanami, in this context, is able to make humans accept reality and continue to walk by being themselves. Izanami works by putting a person in an illusory state that rotates repeatedly and without limit, as if this is similar to the philosophical concept of Sisyphus described by Albert. When a person searches for happiness, the same pattern keeps repeating itself, and that pattern will eventually allow humans to accept their destiny. Izanami teaches that we must accept reality by believing in fate itself rather than change it by destroying our own personal characteristics. We often imitate other people's ways without realizing that everyone has their own way. Continue to be yourself with the character and uniqueness of each of us. Accept destiny with open arms and make it a lesson that others may not have. Izanagi and Izanami have a deep meaning that we can use to understand the reality of life.